So James, I now understand what the elastic does, but for me the question is, how do you get the elastic inside the pole in the first place?
Okay, Trev, well, I'll just quickly show you how to elasticate a pole. And the first thing that makes the job very easy is one of these diamond eye elastic threaders, which is basically a stiff length of wire that you thread through the pole first and then pull the elastic back through it.
Okay.
Okay, now in this case, I'm going to use a hollow elastic that's a 6 to 10 rating. So it's nice and soft if we catch some smaller fish, but also got some power if we hook anything a bit bigger. And I'm actually going to put it through the top two sections of this power top. Remember we talked about the difference between match tops and power tops. So I've already fitted the PTFE bush in the tip. As you can see, I've got a nice thick diameter, and in this case that's an internal PTFE.
Okay.
There's two types that you can get. The internal, like this one, and an external like that one. So quite simply, the external goes over the top of the tip and the internal goes inside.
Okay. Any preference?
I think it's really down to personal preference. I actually prefer the internal bushes now because they're much neater on the pole. There's nothing for the line to catch over. So most of my pole tops now I've got an internal PTFE.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is start to thread the diamond eye threader through the top section of the pole. Okay, so that should come out the end. There you go.
Yep, there he is.
That's it. If you let go of that, Trev, and what we'll do then is we'll attach the elastic to the loop on the diamond eye threader. You just simply pull it in and that will be secure enough to pull it through. And then
I'll hold that for you.
If you just pull that off for me. So there you go. We've got the elastic through the top section. You hold that for us.
I'll hold that.
And then we'll repeat the process with the number 2 section. So we'll push that through. Attach the elastic. Okay. So if you put that section on, and then if you just let go of that, Trev, hopefully, just got enough room at the top. So there you go. We've now got the elastic through the pole. Okay?
Yeah.
Next job is to attach the elastic connector that we briefly touched on. So this comes in 2 parts. You need to thread the top part on. Okay?
Yeah.
And then tie the connector on. I tend to use just a simple half blood knot. Okay? So the connector's securely tied on, and then you push the sleeve over the top and then cut the tag off. So there you go, that's the connector on. And then all remains now to do is to attach the bung. Now the bungs come to a preset size, and as I mentioned before, there's different diameter bungs. Yeah. So you've obviously got to match the bung to the internal diameter of your section.
Okay.
In this case, this is the number 2 section, so it's quite a thick bung.
Okay, and that bung needs to fit far enough up so that your joint fits in smoothly.
Exactly, yeah.
Underneath.
So it pays to take some time to trim the bung to the perfect size.
Okay.
So if you go too quickly, you might find that the bung's too far up the pole.
up.
And the way I like to do it is I actually tie a loop in the bottom. Okay? Ensuring that the length of the elastic is about the length of the top kit. So when I pull that through, when we push the bung up into position, you'll see I've got a little bit of extra elastic there to play with.
Okay.
If I cut that off now and put the connector on, with time, as the elastic starts to wear, I'm going to have to replace the whole elastic. By leaving a bit more elastic than the length of the top kit, I can keep some in reserve. I can use the winder that we talked about.
Right, understand now.
Yeah. So that gets me to the required tension. It also gives me some room to play with. So for me, that's about absolutely perfect. It's a good starting point where the elastic gently retracts back into the top kit. Okay?
Just a little bit of tension there.
Just a little bit of tension. So the elastic's not going to be hanging out when you're fishing, which can cause tangles.
And then at a later date, like you say, when I do find that there's perhaps a couple of nicks or whatever in the elastic, I can take some off there, retie that on,
exactly,
and we can carry on.
And that will happen with time. You'll find that the elastic will start to perish, and it always perishes on the areas where it receives the most wear, which is obviously this little top section here near the top of the connector. As you say, we can just cut a bit off, reapply the connector and adjust it at the bung.
Excellent.
Quite simple, yeah?
Very simple, yeah, very clear, very simple. What started off as a complex, seemingly to me, complex thing at the start of the day, is starting to become really clear.